Yes. Welcome to another EBX discussion. Here to do what the great creator, Mother Nature, and the universe has called me to do. As it that higher power has called many of us to do a lot of things, but only we know within our hearts what that purpose is. But it always should be our goal, should be the truth, no matter what. And that's what I'm here to bring. And I want to give that honor to my ancestors. My dad, may he rest in peace and in power, as well as my ancestors. And my mom, still alive and vibrant. And may the great creator protect all of our moms and our families, dads, children, male or female. May we all prosper and everything we touch turn to gold. And maybe a cousin that I had passed here will transition, as we all say, a year ago. And may she rest in peace and in power, as well as a friend of the family that not too long ago transitioned. May she rest in peace, and in power. And we're going to talk about the ups and downs of being true to oneself. And we're going to start with being 52. No, I just turned 52. And I don't look at it as age anymore. I look at it as the next level. And I'm sure a lot of us, it's many of us that come to that stake in the road, so to speak. So that's why I'm speaking on, being 52 and being over 50. Definitely what I can say, I am now led by that higher power. And we always have to know one is human. None of us are perfect. We are all individuals. And it all depends on how we feel about ourselves on the inside, how we deal with the outer. And I learned that more and more, and I'm sure a lot of my reachers and teachers, brothers and sisters, soldiers and soldierettes, salute, have come to that themselves too. The real like-minded true sayers out there, and those that are true within themselves, no matter the different ideologies and different ways we think, what we know or what we believe in. If we all reach that same common ground, we will stay on point. But you have to be very, very self-aware within your own spirit, our own spirit, because our spirit never lies, no matter what we have, maybe learned from the outside along the way. It's what we know within, that instinct, that righteous desire that drives many of us, and not afraid to be true with what one has learned and has been taught and have researched and have came upon facts in some cases. And always knowing that we're all not going to be on the same level, the same thought process. And I do understand this. And that's why I practice on meditating and centering myself, keeping myself not forgetting the bigger picture, the bigger fight, which is spiritual warfare. That's the biggest fight of all, the ultimate fight, especially these days. So that's why we have to take moments like this in our lives. I always like to say, stop, smell the roses in our busy lives, so we can stay aware of things, especially ourselves, because it always starts with self. And never be afraid of making a mistake from time to time. A lot of us already know this, but I'm speaking for those who are starting in the baby stages of educating yourself, knowing your true spirituality. My black man, my black woman, my black people, I'm a black man. So that's who I fight with, and that's who I fight for, by any means necessary. because that's what's in my circle. That's what I come from. First being on the planet to be able to create life was a black woman. I will always own that, and I will always say that. The black woman is the key to it all. No matter the differences, no matter the differences, little fumble dumble. No matter the differences, when we're self-aware, we know what it is. We know why some individuals, male or female, black man, black woman, have certain dysfunctions within them, because those that are righteous out here, we have fought off a lot of dysfunctions that we used to harbor or carry. So when we finally flow like water and we flood the world with positivity, no matter what, and keep flowing like water, that's just what we'll do. Because water isn't always smooth. Streams are not always smooth. Sometimes they hit rough, hard, rampant, but it's always flowing. And I have to say, that's a great teaching from the great Bruce Lee. I draw in good energy from wherever I can, as long as it's pure and it's good energy, because we all can use good energy from, to keep oneself. It's always good to hear encouraging words from others, if it's coming from a great place. So yes, water can be, like you in a boat and you're paddling and or a canoe, you're going to hit rampant currents and rough currents, but those smooth currents come too. And when we go through and we understand our humiliations and why certain things jump up in us, and we know where, if it's coming from a good place, that place of truth, you're on the right path. Because when you're righteous, you're always on the right path, amongst the mistakes and the challenges along the way. And that leads me to a book that I have been writing. And the last time it's called Unlocking the Vault. And the last time I talked about my book, I was on part 2. And you can check it out. It's on my channel. It's called Unlocking the Vault. And I mentioned another book that's also I talked about in that podcast. So I'm gonna, and that last page that I left off of was page 10. And I was talking about relationships and being true to oneself with each other, male or female. And that was the last page I was on. So that was 10, but we're gonna skip over 11, because let me see, and you'll hear pages turning, because I had so many thoughts that I had to write it down. And writing is good because it keeps the mind sharp. It's good for the pineal gland. And I have page 11, and it's talking about the spirit of an eagle. But we're going to skip over that page, because I also have a podcast right here on my channel called Having the Spirit of an Eagle Righteously. So you're more than welcome to check that out, and I speak more on that podcast. So we're going to go past that and go straight to page. And 12 is kind of brief. Like, again, you'll hear pages flipping because I wrote down my thoughts. I had too much that I wanted to get out of my spirit, and I had to write it down because it's too much to remember. So page 12 is a little brief summary about the 42 laws of Ma'at. Kemet, if I said that right. That's a funny word for me to say, so forgive me if I say it wrong. It's called the 42 laws of, it's either Mohat or Ma'at. And it's just a little brief summary, to give you a motivation to maybe do a little research yourself. And the 42 laws of Ma'at were before Christianity ever existed. Now we're going to start off. Kemet is the name of the native African people of the country now known as Egypt. Called themselves in their surviving writings, many scholars refer to the people as KMT or Kemet. The surviving artifacts of the Kemet visors and scribes evidence that Kemet rule of laws was Ma'at, contained at least in part in observing the 42 laws of Mahat. And that's where the goddess of Mahat comes from, which is female. But that's just a little brief summary what I had on page 12. And, more interested to go look that up. Remember, 42 laws of Mahat or Mahat was, copied, taken, rearranged. Do your research. And it was before Christianity. So do your research. All right, we're going to flip on over to the next page of Unlocking the Vault. And when I'm talking about unlocking the vault, I'm talking about unlocking the vault of our mind and accepting the real truth, not what we think truth is, what we know, not what we believe, what we know. Because, again, many of us teachers say, and I have been taught, belief and knowing is two different things. So let's stick to knowing. And we're going to start with page 13 of my book, Unlocking the Vault. Stand on what the universe has downloaded into our spirit. Never let oneself become confused about the truth, even if we have to stand alone. As long as we are righteous, study every area of our behavior. Just keep our spirit in check, no matter the discussion. Stick to the facts. Most important, the truth. And unapologetic. Be unapologetic. Excuse me for fumbling. Stick to the truth and stay unapologetic. Not that we know everything, but we know what we know. Set a righteous standard and stick by it by any means, as long as we are wise in our heart. That's page 13 of Unlocking the Vault. Now let's go on over to page 14. Unlocking the Vault, the thoughts of my mind. I thought I'd write them down. So bear with me. Let's go. The truth is about walking in it, not making friends. Interconnect to those who seek the real truth. And truth only, not religion or doctrine. Study and research for oneself. From the spirit of our ancestors, our true higher learning, deep within, to the pit of our soul. Nothing on the outside can benefit you if there's no spiritual connection to that higher power. Straight divine connection. No weakness or fear has a place in this spiritual walk. Then we begin to march because we are soldiers. We're flipping on to page 15 of Unlocking the Vault. Boldness is the only way to break curses. Strong boundaries must be formed around the truth, guarded with our life righteously. One's mind is the ultimate jewel. Never let it dim for no entity. Entities can be in people, places, or things. Truth is the only way. There is no other way. Period. One don't give a fuck how it feels. Not about feeling good. We learn from a teacher. Only feel good from a preacher. That's the difference. Because when you learn, it sticks with you forever. All right, we're going to keep right on rolling. I'm feeling this. And I hope you enjoying this. Roll with me. Welcome to, and thank you for my brothers and sisters, whoever joined in. Thank you, my soldiers and soldierettes. Salute. And welcome to my world. And just come ride with me. We're on page 16 of Unlocking the Vault. Knowing oneself can be challenging. That's to be expected. Remember, if we're on a righteous path, we're on a right path. As we make mistakes along the way. Remember, that jewel that we carry on the inside of us. Remember, I'm gonna say that different. Remember that jewel that we carry on the inside of us. Excuse me. But we have to keep that jewel clean and shining, because there are those that don't like or want you to shine one's jewel. The jewel of truth. Justification can be very tricky, so be careful what we justify, especially when it comes to the truth. And that's real talk. Be careful what we justify. It can be very tricky. And I'm working on page 17, but I haven't started page 17. And that's just a little bit I had on my mind. Thank you for those who sat through and listened. And thank you, bear with me. I had to get that out. There was a lot that I had in my spirit that I had to let get out. And at the end of it all, I will always want the best for my brothers, my sisters, my family, those I have connected with, along the way that helped me on this path, my soldiers and soldierettes. Salute. Via brothers and sisters in the world, via brothers and sisters online, within my family too, because we learn from all areas when we stay within and we recognize things for what they are. Because in the end, real spirits recognize real spirits. And I appreciate any brother or sister that have ever interacted on my podcast, music, videos. I appreciate you. And again, I appreciate those reachers and teachers out there that's doing your thing. Keep doing your thing. I feel your love, I feel your power, and I understand where we are in our lives. Because at the end of the day, if we're righteous in all of our hearts, brother or sister, we will all meet on the same plane. And that's real talk. We will see each other on that other side of the moon, because the great creator, Mother Nature, the universe, is with us all. And anyone that's connected to any of us that's reaching and teaching out there, they will be blessed in their lives if they keep righteous things in their hearts. Because at the end of the day, of all the education and all the tough love and the not soft love, but easy love, at the end of it all, if we're true at the base of our heart, everything will work out for the best. Because no matter the mistakes I make, I will always see the best in myself and others that I come in contact with, whether it's my children, my children's mothers, my family. I'll say again, brothers and sisters in the world, brothers and sisters online. And that was what was in my spirit. And I always teach strictly from spirit and experiences. And I thank those for taking the time out of your day to come in to another EBX discussion. And I thank my great creator for bringing blessings in all of our lives, no matter our challenges. And I call down protection on all of us, from our great creator, for ourselves, from ourselves, so we don't become our own worst enemy. I give honor to the soldiers and soldierettes, and the brothers and sisters, my family, my children, my children's mothers, all brothers and sisters all over the world. May you have peace in your part of the world, wherever you are right now. And I mean that from the heart, because I know we all go through things. So let's keep that spiritual momentum going. Salute.